Right, it's the second time I'm filming this, so I'm quite upset. So we have to get that done quite quickly. Guys, this is Clémence, I talk about fragrance. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm just not in my usual spot to film, but no worries, I'm just in Madrid. We're going to talk about retro-inspired fragrance, as you can see by the title. There's some new brands that are creating like some retro and vintage-inspired fragrance. Loved usually my vintage perfume. I mean, I've always been passionate about it, whether it's my clothes or the aesthetic of my apartment or anything like that. It's always been like kind of retro inspired. Recently, the trend is really going back to retro and actually like ingredients that were not really on trend or really coming back. For example, like the chypre, bergamot, leather, and a bit of moss, which was iconic, for example, in the 70s or in the 60s. Also have the soapy aldehydic fragrance, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today, just to let you know. Floral, powdery, smells fizzy like champagne. It's really something that I started to wear earlier on in my life, like I was wearing like number 5. That was probably the first fragrance I bought with my little money. This is the Eau Premiere one, by the way. If you don't like number 5, you think it smells like your grandma, first of all, you're wrong. It's like a floral, yellow floral, more powdery version of it. It's really nice and very modern. Something spontaneous, something clean, but at the same time, like very glamorous. It's the same for men. Obviously, here I'm going to talk more like a probably more floral fragrance, but like for men, you know, when you smell like a, actually no, there's one that is like a, maybe more leaning masculine or whatever, but more unisex. Everything is unisex, but you know what I mean. Ultimate fresh Eau de Cologne. It's really like vintage, retro-inspired, and I love that. Anyway, I've been wearing it constantly. It's called Jouissance En, plein air, 1968. So the word jouissance in French, it means like basically when you're close to an orgasm or something. Not only sexually thing, it could be also like about anything, like you're drinking, you're going out, you know, you're really enjoying doing something. We would use that word. I love the packaging. Look at it. It looks a bit like a Marie Antoinette thing, you know, you put down your vanity table. It's just so delicate in the hand. The packaging is like silky. I think it's adorable. White florals and citruses. Nowadays, when we talk about white florals for example, women, but this is unisex to me, but for example, for women, it's going to be a bit sugary. It's going to be a bit sweet, you know, and I don't feel there is anything sweet in that fragrance. The ultimate chic fragrance. It does have something a bit green. It feels a bit powdery, but not too much, not compared to whatever I'm going to show you after. There's no aldehyde in there, but I really feel something quite fizzy, to be fair. I wear that a lot to go to bed. I've been wearing that probably once every day since a few weeks. Actually, I got a really nice compliment by my boyfriend, so it's quite cute. He actually is not into fragrances, so if he gave me like a compliment about my fragrance, I thought it was really unusual, so I was like, whoa. La Nuit Danse by Chabaud. I was really surprised because the brand Chabaud is not known for their like retro fragrance inspired or whatever. It's known for their gourmand. You know, like there's lait et chocolat, lait de biscuit, like milky fragrance, but super sweet. There's one that smells like tiramisu. Feels a bit sweet and slightly synthetic to me. They have a collection that I think nobody knows about, and this is this collection with La Nuit Danse. They are more like timeless classic. It's a floral powdery with violet, so you know, like, but it doesn't really smell lipsticky. It smells like a antique blusher to me, actually. They're still very soapy and still quite aldehydic to me, actually. Like back in the days, in retro fragrances, they were putting an accord that is like full of wild flowers, and you don't really know what kind of flowers it is. It's not like the white, innocent kind of florals, or it's not the heavy rose. It's something in between, you don't really know what it is, with maybe something slightly green to it. Well, this is exactly what it is. I absolutely love that, but it's made in a modern way. I wear that on a daily basis, like, you know, like for daytime, when I want to feel cute, carefree, you know, this is the type of vibe. I love it. It's actually quite strong. Next is, oh my god, I wore that all summer long. This is Sol Salgado by Thomas de Monaco. I'm absolutely obsessed by this brand. The two other ones, they feel a bit fresh, you know. This one is more depth, more intense. I would probably wear it more for the evening, but it's the same vibe. It's like powdery, a bit aldehydic. Yellow florals. So yellow florals got something like a very tropical, very solar, and it feels nearly salty, like a sun cream. It's so gorgeous. It has like heavy vanilla sandalwood base that is quite strong compared to the second one. Well, it's an extract of fragrance. Doesn't really mean anything to me in my language. I think nowadays saying an extract is an extract is really like marketing. So stunning. So I don't have the bottle yet because I really want to buy it, but I love the brand. And when I tell you like I fell in love from the brand, absolutely addicted. The brand is called Bien-Aime. So that's a bit the look of the brand. So you can see like there's something slightly retro. First of all, I love these colors. I think it's so cute. This is the hand cream and this is the lip balm. Oh my God, the lip balm, look at this. It's just so cute. Cute. Is it a lip balm though? Because I hope so, because I've been using that as a lip balm. But it's not written. They have a fragrance that is called Vermeil. Have a look at the packaging. There's a fucking shell on top. Oh my God, sorry, I'm swearing, but I just love this look, you know, with the shell. It really looks like an Aphrodite kind of thing, you know, you're gonna put that on your vanity, it's gonna look so good. And also the glass is polished, but like to an extent that the glass is so thin. Like it's a piece of art, this bottle. Like it's so thin, you have the impression to touch crystal. The powdery violet iris, definitely gonna buy that. Yeah, so, you know, a bit the same vibe, but Vermeil has something a little bit fruitier to me. It's so good. And they do like a gentleman fragrance. Oh, yeah. You know, yeah, you see directly the guy with a tweed jacket wearing that. The brand was really old by, I can't remember his first name, but the man was called Bien-Aime, and apparently he was a really good man, and his brand, like he was doing this brand with soaps. And when he died, the fragrance brand got extinct, and nobody heard about it since a while. And I think the French lady that took back this brand found some old thing from Bien-Aime and got a passion from the brand, and she got to know the man behind it. Apparently he was an adorable man, like very generous and stuff like this. And I think she wanted to pay tribute a bit to that huge heritage, so she revived the brand. Another thing that I acquired, I had to buy that. I bought this in Soliflore in Brighton. This is a niche perfume store I really love. You need to go have a look if you're going to Brighton. The lady Sarah, she's so great. This is the Farina Eau de Cologne, basically. I don't know if you know the story about this, but it's actually pretty much insane. This is the original Eau de Cologne, I would say, alongside, for example, 4711, the ancestor of modern perfumery. Literally, if you're in America, you probably call cologne like a fragrance for men or a strong fragrance, whereas in Europe, we talk about the cologne is a very fresh scent that lasts 2 to 3 hours. It's really there to smell clean, refresh you after the shower, and this is the ancestor of modern perfumery, like aromatic, citrus, things like that. Aquafarina is exactly like that, maybe a little bit more green. This is from 1709. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's really affordable, and you've got like a beautiful, fresh, herbal, green kind of eau de cologne. So here you have the bottle here. That's the... Look at this. It's just a part of history. You know, when I see that, like, I just love these things. Oh, it's just, I love it. Like, you know, it smells so green, so fresh, so lemony. Actually, it smells lemony. It's very much more bitter, you know, than usual citrus that you're going to smell that are going to be smooth and cute. It's quite bitter, you know. Compared to 4711 that I have as well, it feels much more sharper and greener here. And here you have like a letter with all the person that wore that fragrance across history. For example, Princess Diana, you have Romy Schneider, King Edward VII, King George V, Oscar Wilde, the poet, Richard Wagner. You know, like it's such Mark Twain. Oh my God! Like I'm reading now. Like, you know, it's such a huge part of history. Imagine all the people that were smelling like that. Honoré de Balzac, that is insane. Queen Victoria. Élise Bonaparte, Grand Duchesse de Toscane, so the Bonaparte family, so close to Napoleon. Bonaparte, yeah, all the family of Napoleon wore this perfume. This is absolutely mad. Ludwig van Beethoven, Mozart, just that, you know, Mozart wore this perfume. I find it absolutely mad, you know. I'm just like completely, I don't know. I think it's crazy. You know, if you want like fragrance that are retro inspired but doesn't feel vintage, too much vintage, there's a lot of other fragrances I'm wearing that'll give me that vibe without feeling maybe as vintage as those ones. For example, Couleur Primaire by les Eaux Primordiales. It's a soapy aldehydic fragrance, super clean. It feels a bit more vintage because despite being aldehydic, I think it's not as like, you know, this powdery floral. I have that in my bathroom actually. Every time I go out of the shower, I wear Couleur Primaire. Oh, I completely forgot to talk about Officine Universelle Bully. I think in terms like of modern vintage inspired, you know, they are so great. Well, first of all, look at the look of the brand. It's absolutely stunning. I use them as decoration. So I've got the Eau Triple, the Myrrh, that is like a myrrh, but like a fresh myrrh, because basically they're water-based and you can really feel them in the spray. It's very light, huh? But it's really fresh. And my favorite at the moment is the Cedar one. It's like a cedar woodsy scent, but it has something slightly sweet to it, you know? Like I absolutely love that. Obviously, they feel very retro, very light and a bit fresh. But oh my god, I am obsessed with this brand. I think just the look is stunning. I really want they have this is the green bottle. They have like a kind of like a carrot and a rhubarb scent. I think I'm obsessed. I love them. I love the design. I love everything. Voilà, that's exactly what I mean by modern inspired, vintage inspired, retro inspired. It's incredible. Could live with those and not wearing anything else, I would be really happy, I think. I forgot to talk about something. Oh my god, yeah. I've got this. Look. This is called Ambre Antique by Infiniment Coty. It's new, but it's not new. Basically, Coty reproduced the original Ambre Antique from 1905. I went to Grasse recently to the International Museum of Perfumery and I saw this bottle of Ambre Antique that is the first amber in history. Well, modern amber in history, because basically amber is an accord, vanilla, vanillin, benzoin, those kind of things, mixed resin and smooth accord like this. That Coty created an accord that is called Ambre S, and it's basically an overdose of labdanum, vanillin. It's something quite really special. Actually, they have an exclusivity on that accord for life. So it's Coty's, and you can't smell that accord anywhere else. The original Ambre Antique obviously was discontinued. It doesn't really exist. You can't smell that. You know, you see that in museum now. Well, it's limited edition, but they reproduce it to smell it exactly like the original. And it's really hard to do because now, you know, the laws of perfumery, it's changed a lot. So basically the chemists that work on this perfume are really like archaeologists, really. So they did only like 1905 bottle of this fragrance, and it really exactly smelled like the first amber in history. Actually, you know, it gives me that powdery feel, a bit like the other one, but it's like an amber. It's to die for. Like, let me know what you're wearing nowadays, and anyway, I will see you very soon, and that's it. I think that's it. I've got too much sun in my face. I'm done. Bye now.